All right, in this video we are talking about starting value or y-intercept. For your definition of starting value, this is the point where, if we're talking about a line, this is the point where the line crosses the vertical y-axis. That's why it's called y-intercept. If you need to pause to get any of this written down, feel free. Some common examples would be a head start in a race. If it's a race between two people and one person has a head start, then they would have a y-intercept that's not 0. If you start away from your destination, so the distance away from somewhere before you start traveling, if you start 50 miles away from your destination, then you would have a starting point that's 50. It'd be non-zero. So you would be starting away and traveling towards your destination. Or it could be the startup cost. If we're talking about a business, they may have costs for their materials or things they're going to sell or equipment or something. So they might start in the negative as far as profit is concerned and then start making money. So there's some common examples. How it's found. The y-intercept, in addition to being found on the vertical y-axis, is also found when x equals 0. When x equals 0, you are looking for the corresponding y value, and that is the y-intercept. So for our first example down here, we have hours as our independent variable, or I suppose you could think of that as x, and distance as our dependent variable, or you could think of that as y. The starting value in this instance is 2 miles. We look right here. The independent right here is 0. 0 hours traveled, distance of 2 miles, so the starting value is 2 miles. We would also write this in coordinates as 0, 2. Okay, so x is 0, y is 2, 0, 2. To interpret the starting value, that means that maybe there's a head start, or for whatever reason they are already at mile marker 2. So this would be before traveling at all, because it's 0 hours. Before traveling, distance is 2 miles. So again, maybe they have a head start or something like that. Okay. This example gives us a graph. The variables here are time and amount of water. Time is our independent variable. Amount of water is our dependent variable. The starting value we're looking for, and we can call this the y-intercept. So we're looking for where does it cross the y-axis, the vertical y-axis. It crosses the vertical y-axis right there at 0, 5. And if we interpret that in terms of the two variables, that's 0 minutes and 5 gallons. The water in this whatever container is decreasing. Okay, so this would be, before maybe it's got a leak or something, but before draining or leaking or whatever, before draining, the container has 5 gallons of water. Okay, so that's our interpretation of the y-intercept 0, 5.